Hello and welcome to today's wrist strengthening and conditioning class. Today we are all about conditioning your wrists in preparation for things like handstands, forearm balances, even downward dog, anything where you find yourself practicing your yoga and your wrists are getting sore. It just means that we need to build up the strength and flexibility in those guys. All right, so for props, you're going to need your yoga mat, and then you'll either need a pair of sliders or paper plates or just some socks, and you might need 2 yoga blocks. All right, so when you're ready, I'll see you on the mat. Okay, so we're going to start in all fours. And from the get-go, I want you to make sure that you've got really good alignment. So you've got your shoulders directly over your wrists and your hips directly over your knees, and everything is shoulder width apart. And then from here, we're going to be doing what's known as the seal paw dance. So all we're going to do is we're just going to take our hands, fingers pointing sides, back, sides, front. And can you see how I'm really kind of leaning my weight side to side so that I start to rock over the wrists? So I'm starting to rock my shoulders over my wrists just so that they can get used to bearing weight in a position where they're not perfectly aligned. And this is because when we're in a handstand, sometimes our shoulders come over our wrists and the wrists need to be able to withstand that. Good, so just a couple here. Good, and you can start to bring the hands closer together and do this, and then that's going to just challenge you even more, and keeping the arms straight throughout. Good, and last round, and back. Good. Okay, so coming back into nice alignment, you can tuck the toes. I'm going to turn my fingers to face back, and keeping the arms straight, we're just going to lean the hips down, and this is going to stretch out the front of the forearms. So keeping my elbows straight for now. And then coming forward. And now we're going to lean back, and we're going to also bend the elbows. So the palms of the hands will come off the ground, which is fine. And we just want to get a nice deep stretch there. Good. One last time. Inhale and exhale. So the further away your hands are from you, the more intense the stretch. If it's too much, you can just bring your hands closer towards your knees and just stretch it out, bending the elbows, and straighten and bend and straighten. Good. All right, shake it out. And already they might be feeling quite tender, but don't worry, it's all part of the process. So at any point, if you need to just take a break and roll out your wrists, then just go ahead and do that, and then join me again when you're ready. Okay, so we're going to be doing palm push-ups in all fours. So the idea is that you keep your fingers all the way to the third knuckle on the ground, and we just pop up the palms. Keep the arms straight, and trying to do it together instead of one where we're kind of rocking our weight side to side. So pop them up at the same time. Good. So you want to kind of keep weight on the hands, but if it's super intense for you, you want to take the weight back slightly into the hips, and that'll be less intense. If you want more intensity, weight further into the fingers. Keeping the hands, the elbows straight, the arms nice and straight. Good. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, I'm going to get my sliders. So you could always put your socks on your hands, or you could use some paper plates. And I'm just going to face the front for this one. And we're just going to slide our hands inwards and outwards. So really get your weight over your hands here. And just practice. We want to get a full rotation in the shoulders as much as we can with the arms straight. Try and keep those sliders aligned side by side so that one doesn't come further forward or more open out to the side than the other one. As much as possible, just trying to keep everything nice and aligned, shoulder width apart. Good. And depending on what kind of floor you have, probably a wooden floor would give you the least resistance here. If you're doing this on a carpet, it would be probably quite difficult. So just being wary of that. Good, let's do one more. and coming back to the center. Okay, great. So placing your sliders back down. Okay, we're going to do an all fours shoulder circle over our wrists. So coming into alignment, we're just going to take our shoulders and circle them over our wrists. So it's like you're drawing a circle with your shoulders in the air over your wrists or around your hands. And you'll feel how that just places different pressure on different parts of the hands. And change directions. Good. That's it. That's it. 3 more. 2. And 1. Okay, so we're going to go into that lean back again. So you can tuck the toes and you're going to lean the weight back, and we're just going to do little palm push-ups in this position. So just like we did before, we're kind of combining 2 moves, the palm push-up move, and you can bend the elbows at first to start to really get a nice deep stretch, and then see if you can keep the elbows straight and just pop the palms up in that push-up position. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and just shake it out. So you can really feel it in the shoulders just by bearing weight on the hands and the shoulders having to stabilize all of that. They are working pretty hard. So shake it out if you need to. Good. And then we're just going to come back into our all fours position, and we're just going to rock forward and back over our wrists. And this is really kind of the position that you'd get used to. If you were prepping for a handstand press, you would have to really push your hips over your wrists as you get into the press position, and then as you lift the legs up to the sky, the weight would come back into a more comfortable position. So it really is worth feeling what it feels like to have the weight right over the wrists. Good. And just breathe through it. Good. 2 more. And last one. Good. And then just sinking down onto your knees or cross-legged. And then what I like to do is just stretch out my fingers. So give them a little shake to release all of that tension. And then grabbing sort of right by the knuckle and just pushing the finger down and the other fingers up. So you're creating space in between. Good. So we're not taking the tip of the finger, we're grabbing right by the 3rd knuckle where it meets the palm of the hand and pushing that finger down and lifting the other fingers up in opposition, and just feel that nice finger stretch. So this is a really good one to do every day. Also just to give yourself a break and increase blood flow if you've been sitting at a desk typing a lot. These are really great exercises to do. Just stretching out all the fingers. Good. The thumb you kind of have to just pull apart from the other fingers. Doesn't really bend backwards as much. And then just going through all those fingers one at a time. Remember to lift the other fingers up away so that you are really stretching the skin as much as you are the joints. Good. Take your time with it, feel it, stretch it out. And then lastly, we're just going to do a bit of a massage to our forearms. So what I like to do is I like to just place my hand down, and then my opposite knee is just going to rub into the forearm. So I'm placing my weight into that forearm, and you'll see your fingers curl automatically depending on where you press, and you can just go from your wrist to your mid forearm and up to the crease of your elbow, and then change sides. So opposite knee to arm. I've got my watch on, which makes it a bit harder, so you might want to take your watch off first. Good. And I'm just kind of wiggling my knee side to side. I don't know if you can see that, and really just pressing my weight into those forearms. Good, and then the final thing that's really great for also just releasing tight forearms, if you do a lot of sort of rope climbing and rock climbing and you get that forearm pump from gripping, then this, what we've just done, is great to release that, as well as this. So we're going to go into Malasana squat, but we're actually going to take our elbows into the creases of our knees and sink down. You can keep your heels lifted off the ground, and you're just going to rock from side to side. Some people like to walk around in this position, they like to walk in a circle. It really doesn't matter. You just want to increase the compression of each forearm by kind of leaning your weight into it. And it is that compression that's happening through the bending of your legs and then the leaning side to side. And again, you should feel your fingers curl as you compress certain nerves in the forearm. So if you do have that forearm pump, then this is just a great way to release that tension. Good. All right, so shake it out. A few wrist circles both ways, some finger stars, and there you have it. That is it. Just a couple of things that you can do. You could add it into the beginning of a handstand practice just to warm up those wrists, or if you're someone who really loves yoga but you're struggling with downward dog because you just find that your wrists get sore, then just practice a couple of these every single day and you'll see a massive improvement. So I hope that you enjoyed that. If you did, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in our next workout. Bye.